It's no secret, Rick Mixter loves to scuba dive, and if you can imagine his excitement when he heard about the shipwrecks located in the Manitou Island Preserve. The diving is fantastic, but Rick found that there's even more to see when you explore the islands.
It was ironic that fog clouded our morning visit to the Manitou Islands, because it was fog that blinded the ship we were to explore. The Walter Frost was a 235-foot steamer that lost its way in the fog and ran aground on South Manitou in 1903. The U.S. life-saving crew from this station rescued the crew of 19, but the ship was a total loss. Left to the elements, the Frost eventually broke up, and the weight of several seasons of heavy ice have crushed the ship flat. Further damage was caused in 1960 when another shipwreck ran right through the Frost.
Francisco Morazon was a Liberian freighter, package freighter. Its main cargo was canned chicken. It was late in December in a snow squall that a young captain and his pregnant wife were in charge and ended up putting it up on the shoal less than 200 feet from the Walter Frost.
Ice and waves haven't done the Morazon any good either, but she still looks like a ship. The Morazon is probably the only Michigan shipwreck that still stands half above the water.
I've been diving it since the late 70s and been coming out here with charters since 1981. And it's broken up a lot more. The ice has come in and taken big pieces out of it. The stern is gone. This was all here intact. The paint is gone. It had a lot of gray paint on it. There were some different machinery parts that were on it. I think they've been stripped off too.
There's several advantages to diving shallow wrecks like the Morazon. Probably the biggest is that you can spend as long as an hour in one dive. That's a lot of time to explore, especially when you have a lot of artifacts to see. And if you're looking for a lot of history, you need only to cruise to North Manitou Island.
My favorite wreck is the Alva Bradley. It presents itself on clear days as the best find that we have at this time. There are other wrecks, some of them very deep and not very pretty to see, and a lot of shallow wrecks. So if you're a snorkeler, there's a whole list. There's probably 8 or 9 more wrecks right in that vicinity that have anything from the keelsons to the rudders and chains and stuff laying around. So very, very interesting.
Jack was the first diver to see the Alva Bradley since it sunk in October of 1894. Rediscovered in 1990, the Bradley still has a great deal of history aboard.
It has been a major chore to do the inventory of everything that's on it because it is so widely spread out. This is something that the Manitou Preserve Committee has contacted the coastal zone and has had an ongoing project for the last 3 years, and this is the final year that they're inventorying everything that's down there.
Making the project even more difficult are the shifting sands of the Manitous. They cover and uncover new discoveries every year. Because they lie in shallow water, non-divers can also see the wrecks. The Morazon is a major attraction for visitors on South Manitou Island. The island was turned into a national park in the 70s, and since then, thousands of people have embarked on the Mishimakwa to get away from it all.
We haul about 9,000 a year, where we used to haul about 200. So that part's changed. It's a great island for camping.
We have 2 different groups of people that come. We have the day visitors that come just for the afternoon. They spend about 4 hours on the island, and they always like to see, of course, the lighthouse.
But you're going to have to camp overnight to see all 5,000 acres of South Manitou, including the dunes and the world's largest cedars. Set aside even more time to see North Manitou. It's 3 times the size of South Manitou. Park rangers are on the island from May until September. On the Manitou Islands, this is Rick Mixter for Take 5.
Boy, Ann, so many fascinating stories on the Michigan Great Lakes, aren't there?
Definitely, those ships, that is always a fascination of mine.